Welcome to Colombia, the land of magical realism, delicious coffee, and the warmest people you'll ever meet. But like any good host, it's always nice to brush up on your manners before you visit, right? So, whether you're planning a trip to this beautiful homeland or just curious about its culture, get ready for a crash course on Colombian customs. Trust us, understanding these little things will make your experience in Colombia even more amazing. So, someone has just arrived in Colombia. They're excited and ready to explore. But first things first, let's talk about greetings. Colombians are a very warm and affectionate bunch. They love to greet each other with a kiss on the cheek. But hold on, before one goes kissing everyone in sight, there are a few things to know. First, it's usually just one kiss on the right cheek. For men, a handshake is perfectly acceptable, especially if meeting for the first time. When greeting someone older or in a position of authority, it's always respectful to say buenos dias, buenas tardes, or buenas noches depending on the time of day. And ladies, don't be surprised if they get a little hug too. Colombians are huggers, especially with people they know. It's just their way of saying, we're so happy to see you. One more thing. When introduced to a group of people, be sure to greet each person individually. One hasn't truly experienced Colombia until they've tasted the food. The flavors, the spices, and the love that goes into every dish are simply unforgettable. From savory arepas to the hearty bandeja paisa, taste buds are in for a treat. Each dish tells a story of tradition and culture. But before digging in, it's important to talk about Colombian dining etiquette. It's not just about the food, it's about the experience. Mealtimes in Colombia are a social affair. They are moments to cherish with loved ones. Colombians love to eat together, share stories, and laugh. It's a time to bond and create memories. Lunch is usually the biggest meal of the day, and it's a time for families and friends to connect. It's not just about eating, it's about being together. When it comes to table manners, just using one's best judgment is key. Respect and politeness go a long way. Keeping elbows off the table, chewing with the mouth closed, you know the drill. Simple manners make the meal more enjoyable for everyone, but one shouldn't be afraid to relax and enjoy themselves. The atmosphere is always warm and welcoming. Be prepared to share food. It's a gesture of friendship and hospitality. It's very common in Colombia to offer a taste of one's meal to others at the table. Sharing is caring, after all. And when it comes to drinks, well, one can't go wrong with a Colombian coffee. It's rich, aromatic, and a perfect end to any meal. Colombians take their coffee very seriously. It's a part of daily life and culture. But if one is in the mood for something a little stronger, they should try an aguardiente. It's a traditional Colombian spirit that's sure to add some fun to the meal. All right, let's delve into something deeply ingrained in Colombian culture: dancing. Colombians are practically born knowing how to move. Music and dance are in their blood, and it's a huge part of their social life. From salsa to cumbia to vallenato, Colombia has a rhythm for everyone. Visitors shouldn't be shy. They should join in the fun. Even if they don't know the steps, they should just let loose and feel the music. To really impress the locals, visitors can try learning a few basic salsa steps. The most important thing is to have fun and let loose. In Colombia, dancing is all about expressing oneself and enjoying the moment. Colombians are known for their hospitality. They love to invite people into their homes, and they always make sure their guests feel welcome. But like any good guest, it's important to be mindful of a few things when visiting a Colombian home. First, it's always a nice gesture to bring a small gift for the host. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just a small token of appreciation. A box of chocolates, some flowers, or even a bottle of wine will do the trick. When guests arrive, they should be sure to greet everyone in the house with a handshake or a kiss on the cheek, depending on their relationship with them. And guests shouldn't be surprised if they're offered food or drinks as soon as they walk in the door. Hospitality is a big deal in Colombia, and they love to spoil their guests. Now, when it comes to footwear, it's customary to take off shoes when entering someone's home. Let's talk business, shall we? In the world of commerce, time is often equated with money. Colombia's business world is a fascinating mix of traditional values and modern dynamism. It's a place where old meets new in the most intriguing ways. Colombians are all about building strong relationships, but they also value professionalism and punctuality. These elements are the bedrock of successful business interactions. So, when it comes to business meetings, it's important to be on time. Punctuality shows respect and commitment. Now, one might think this is Latin America. Surely time is flexible. And while it's true that things can be a bit more relaxed in social settings, in the business world, punctuality is key. It's a sign of reliability and trustworthiness. When arriving for a meeting, it's customary to greet everyone in the room with a handshake. This simple gesture goes a long way in establishing rapport. And for women, a kiss on the cheek is also appropriate if they've met the person before. It adds a personal touch to professional interactions. Colombians tend to dress formally for business meetings. Attire speaks volumes about seriousness and respect for the occasion. So, leave the jeans and flip-flops at home. Dressing appropriately is crucial. For men, a suit and tie are always a safe bet. It's a classic choice that never goes out of style. And for women, a business suit or a dress with a blazer will do the trick. It's all about looking polished and professional. During the meeting, be prepared to engage in some small talk before getting down to business. This helps in building a connection and sets a positive tone for the discussion. If there's one thing Colombians know how to do, it's party. Their celebrations are legendary, filled with energy, passion, and a sense of community that's truly infectious. Colombians love to celebrate, and they have a jam-packed calendar of festivals and holidays throughout the year. Each festival is unique, showcasing the diverse culture and traditions of this beautiful country. From the colorful Carnaval de Barranquilla to the joyous Feria de Cali, there's always something to celebrate in Colombia. These festivals are not just events, they are a way of life, bringing people together in joyous harmony. Now, if one is lucky enough to be in Colombia during a festival, be prepared for an explosion of color, music, and dance. The streets come alive with vibrant parades, traditional music, and dance performances that will leave anyone mesmerized. Colombian festivals are a feast for the senses, and they're a wonderful way to experience Colombian culture firsthand. The sights, sounds, and flavors will immerse visitors in an unforgettable cultural experience. One of the most important things to remember during festivals is to be respectful of local customs. Understanding and appreciating the traditions will enhance the experience and show respect for the culture. But for the most part, Colombian festivals are all about letting loose and having a good time. It's a chance to dance, sing, and celebrate life with friends and strangers alike. So put on those dancing shoes, grab a drink, and get ready to party like a Colombian. The energy is contagious, and anyone will find themselves swept up in the joyous atmosphere. And hey, if feeling really adventurous, try some of the local delicacies. The food is as vibrant and diverse as the festivals themselves. From arepas to empanadas to bandeja paisa, there's something to tantalize every taste bud. Each dish tells a story of Colombia's rich culinary heritage, making the festival experience even more memorable. Public transportation in Colombia is quite an experience. It's an experience, to say the least. From colorful buses to packed colectivos, travelers will see it all on Colombian roads. But don't worry, it's all part of the adventure. When it comes to bus etiquette, there are a few things to keep in mind. First, it's considered polite to offer a seat to someone who needs it more, like an elderly person, a pregnant woman, or someone with a disability. And speaking of offering, don't be surprised if someone offers food or drinks on the bus. It's a common way for Colombians to show kindness to strangers, so feel free to accept or politely decline if not hungry. When it comes to paying the fare, it's customary to have small bills and coins handy. And finally, be prepared for a bit of a sensory overload. Colombian buses are known for their loud music, colorful decorations, and lively conversations. Let's delve into something near and dear to every Colombian's heart: coffee. It's practically Colombia's national drink. Colombians take their coffee very seriously, and they have a rich coffee culture that's steeped in tradition. If someone is invited for a coffee in Colombia, they shouldn't expect a Starbucks-style frappuccino with whipped cream and sprinkles. Colombian coffee is all about simplicity and flavor. Colombians like their coffee strong, black, and often sweetened with a little panela, unrefined cane sugar. Coffee is often enjoyed in social settings, whether it's catching up with friends or family or discussing business. It's a time to relax, connect, and savor the moment. When it comes to coffee etiquette, there are a few things to keep in mind. First, it's considered rude to refuse a cup of coffee if it's offered. And speaking of hospitality, if someone is in a Colombian home, it's customary to offer to make coffee for everyone. Now, let's discuss tipping in Colombia. It's not always required, but it's always appreciated. Tipping is a way to show gratitude for good service. In restaurants, it's customary to leave a tip of around 10% of the bill if service wasn't included. One can leave it in cash on the table or tell the waiter to add it to the bill. Taxi drivers don't usually expect a tip, but rounding up the fare to the nearest 1,000 pesos is common. And if staying in a hotel, it's a nice gesture to tip the housekeeping staff a few thousand pesos per day. Colombians are some of the warmest, friendliest, and most welcoming people one could ever meet. They love to chat, they love to laugh, and they're always happy to help. So, travelers shouldn't be afraid to strike up a conversation with a local. They might just make a new friend. When it comes to social interactions, there are a few things to keep in mind. Colombians are very expressive with their hands. They use their hands to talk, to gesture, to emphasize a point. Colombians also have a great sense of humor. They love to joke around, and they don't take themselves too seriously. Visitors should remember to be themselves, be respectful, and be open to new experiences. So there you have it, dear viewers, a glimpse into the beautiful and vibrant culture of Colombia. These are just a few tips to help navigate the ins and outs of Colombian customs. Trust us, you'll leave with a heart full of memories and a longing to return. Now go forth and explore the magic of Colombia. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing videos. Thank you for watching.